What if the ocean's most unlikely survivor, the slow, awkward balloon with eyes, woke up with our kind of mind? Not just fear and reflex, but foresight, strategy, and a real plan behind the puff. Pufferfish already bend the rules of the food chain. They carry a molecule so potent that a single pinprick can silence a predator. They reinvent their body on command, turning from a bite-sized snack into a spiky, keep out sign in a single breath. Now, give that body a human-level brain. The reef stops being just scenery. It becomes a negotiation table, where the smallest voice suddenly speaks the loudest. Let's start with the upgrade you can't see: judgment. A normal puffer waits until danger is close, then frantically drinks the sea and swells up. An intelligent puffer, however, runs a cost-risk ledger. It calculates currents, cover, and the attention economy of the reef. Inflate too early and you waste precious energy. Inflate too late and you're dinner. So it stages encounters. A shadow crosses overhead. The fish drifts toward a crevice it pre-selected 2 hours earlier. As the predator approaches, the puffer kicks up a cloud of sand, dropping visibility. Then it expands just enough to look more like a thorny rock than flesh. The hunter, annoyed but not injured, pivots away. To the puffer, that's a win without a scar. The first rule of survival becomes elegant. Don't fight predators, schedule them. Next, communication. Pufferfish already signal with posture and color shifts. With higher cognition, those microsignals evolve into a language. Bands of color pulse across their bodies like Morse code. Their fins drum the sand in patterns that carry messages across the seafloor. Inflation itself becomes punctuation. A quick half-puff means warning, while a full spiky dome means hold the line. On a busy day, you could hover above a patch of reef and watch an entire conversation happening in dust and light. Alerts about a moray eel prowling the rubble, a map to a new bed of snails, or a heads-up that the parrotfish herd is about to bulldoze through, leaving a buffet in their wake. From language, culture emerges. You've probably seen those perfect mysterious circles on the seafloor, sand mandalas sculpted by a male puffer to attract a mate. Give that artist a human mind, and the circle becomes a school, a fortress, a nursery. Teams of puffers trace geometry that modulates water flow, funneling fine sediment to the center to bury their eggs under an engineered blanket of safety. Styles evolve by region. One clan carves starburst trenches that confuse the lateral lines of predators. Another sculpts raised ridges that break waves and hide their silhouettes from above. The reef becomes a gallery of purposeful architecture, each motif a signature and a claim. We were here, we built this, our young will survive. The puffer's mouth becomes a workshop. Their beak can crunch shells and corals like biscuits. That brute force is now applied with intent. Intelligent puffers chip microshelters into dead coral, aligning entrances with the current so that scents exit slowly, while their eyes can watch the main channel. They harvest urchin spines and wedge them in doorways like medieval traps, creating do-not-follow thresholds that even eels learn to respect. They even cultivate gardens, tending to soft algae beds far enough from grazers to thrive, but close enough to rubble for a quick retreat. It's not a city. It's a network of safe rooms and food closets, intricately laced through natural stone. Then comes policy, the part no predator sees coming. The toxin becomes law, not chaos. Pufferfish don't just poison the reef, they project the idea of poison. Everyone knows the consequence, so everyone listens. A smart puffer doesn't spray threats, it shapes behavior. One clan might secure a nursery corridor by placing decoy spines and broadcasting a color pattern that plainly says, "Enter at your own risk." Groupers try once, get a face full of regret, and the story spreads. After that, the corridor is quiet during hatching season. That's not terror. That's deterrence, negotiated once and enforced by reputation. Their diet turns strategic. Puffers love hard-shelled prey like snails and crabs. With a brain, they stop strip mining and start farming. Shell beds are rotated, small crabs are spared to grow and seed the next season. They anchor kelp fronds into rows to shelter juvenile snails from grazers. A sandy patch becomes a hatchery commons where everyone eats a little less now, so they can eat a lot more later. Confused by this managed abundance, predators drift to easier grounds. Meanwhile, the puffers' beaks stay busy, trimming competitor algae around living corals, ensuring that both the builders of the reef, the corals, and themselves win. Allies appear. Octopuses, those other geniuses of the sea, notice that these small architects offer information the reef rarely shares. An octopus might trade evening reconnaissance for right-of-way through a safe corridor. I'll watch the drop-off, you watch my den. Surgeonfish eat the turf algae off the puffer's sculptures, keeping water flowing and the art intact. The reef becomes a mixed economy of favors and fees, with the smallest body collecting the most tax. A pass through safe water in exchange for not harassing the nursery. A bite of a clam in exchange for leaving the next 4 untouched. Humans enter the story the way we always do, loudly, then carefully. Divers spot the patterns before scientists can publish them. Those perfect circles multiply, linked by corridors cleared of loose rock. Boats drift above fields that look like ancient crop marks from the air. The first conflict is accidental. An anchor rips through a nursery. The second is not. A clan collapses its art and relocates in a week, leaving a churned desert where there was once an invitation. We learn the hard way that attention is a currency, and these puffers will spend it elsewhere if we spend ours poorly. Conservationists change tactics from close the area to follow the signals. When the reef blinks a certain rhythm, boats keep their distance. In return, the circles glow back to life. Hunting evolves into a masterful display of timing. Pufferfish are not fast. They win with coordination. In the seagrass at dusk, a squad fans out at the edge of a crab warren. One fish faints and puffs mildly, pushing a pressure wave into the den. Another waits at the side exit that only the locals know. When the crab bolts, there is no chase. There is a door, a wall, and a trap you can't see until you're in it. The meal is quick, the den remains intact. Tomorrow's hunt will be even easier. The intelligent puffer's greatest weapon is boredom. It makes every attempt to hunt it feel expensive, convincing risk-takers to take their risks somewhere else. The strangest change is aesthetic. The reef gets quieter around puffer country. Chaos drops because plans rise. Juveniles practice inflation drills like kids practice swimming. Small puffs, hold, roll, and tuck. Elders audit sand patterns the way farmers taste soil. Courtship keeps its flair, but the beautiful circles now double as training grounds, teaching the young how to build. Beauty becomes utility wearing a crown. Scale arrives last. One clever fish is a curiosity. Hundreds create policy. Along a chain of reefs, clans sync calendars by moonlight and magnetic feel. When storms threaten, their circles are flattened in hours so waves can't rip them apart. In bad years, they shrink their footprint. In good years, they expand, seeding new galleries. This is not instinct. This is governance. So, what about us? We'll have choices. We can bulldoze through and lose the quiet partner that makes the reef more stable than we ever could alone. Or we can learn their signage. We can set no anchor zones that match their corridors. In exchange, the reef may rebound where it was failing. These tiny engineers will weed the algae for us. They will do what they've always done, only better, because a plan beats a reflex every single time. The punchline isn't that puffers become tyrants with poison crowns. It's that a creature we mocked for puffing up was actually practicing for leadership. Inflation was never a tantrum. It was a lesson. Make yourself larger in the moments that matter, then glide small and efficient the rest of the time. If pufferfish ever matched our mind, the ocean would gain a patient custodian. And maybe, just maybe, we would finally remember that the smallest builder can hold the biggest line. if everyone just learns to read the signs. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into What If, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the wonders of our world. See you next time.